Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Mac America Led back with another NBA 2K22 video. And in today's video, we are going to be ranking all of the shooting badges in NBA 2K22. So let's just jump right into it now. Of course, I want to, just preface the video with saying that, these rankings, this is just going to be the rankings. These aren't the levels that I would run these badges at. These are just going to be the rankings, Hall of Fame meaning must have, gold meaning badges that you should have on as well. Hall of Fame is really going to just be like must-haves, badges that you wouldn't run without. Gold meaning badges you should have. Silver being badges that you would want to have or like to have if you have enough badges, and then bronze just being situational kind of badges that you don't really need but you can equip, and then unequipped just being badges that you just would not use at all. So starting off with unequipped, we're going to be putting limitless spot up. Now, I've talked about limitless spot up on my channel multiple times. This is just a badge that I feel that is pretty much useless. You have to be really far to trigger this badge, and if you've played 2K in the last 3 to 4 years or whatever like that, then you know that limitless range extender and stuff like that, these badges triggered not only just for deep threes but also deep twos. But the distance that you needed to be to trigger these badges wasn't as far as it is now. So I feel like nobody's really going to be pulling from there. The only time I would really consider this badge even putting it into like maybe a bronze tier is if you play Pro-Am and you want your guy to sit all the way back past hash. The further back you are, the more space your point guard is going to have or whatever like that. But even then, you're not going to really be hitting those shots at a high clip unless you, one, know your jump shot and can green your jump shot 9 out of 10 times. That's one. Or two, you're on a pure green shooting build or whatever like that. A pure green stretch, a pure green sharpshooter or sharpshooter facilitator or something like that. Yes, I would warrant putting this badge up to bronze, maybe even silver tier. But if you're not running those very situational or specific builds, this badge is just unequipped. I haven't used this badge since the game has been out. I probably put it on in the beginning of the game once we realized how far you needed to be in order to trigger this badge. I immediately stopped running it, even with them changing how the badges trigger and stuff like that. I still do not run limitless spot up, and I'm also putting this badge in there as well. If you're not going to be hitting deep threes off the catch and shoot, you're definitely not going to really be hitting deep threes off the dribble like that. The catch and shoot is the best shot you can shoot in NBA 2K. You're not going to be shooting off dribble shots from there. I don't care if you have stop and pop. I don't care if you have chef, if you have shooting boosts. It's just not going to happen, at least if you're not on a pure green build. And even then, it's just not a good shot shooting from 30 plus feet away, from the basket. It's just not a good shot, and it's just not a shot you're going to hit a lot in NBA 2K22. Previous 2Ks, maybe you were getting that shot off, but in this game, you're just not going to really be getting that shot off consistently like that. So that's why I would not equip these two badges, period. Now, for our next badge, I'm going to be putting slippery off ball in bronze. Now, this is a badge that can be pretty useful, and the reason why I have this bronze is because you don't really have to put it at a very high level for it to really be useful to you. And more importantly, you can use this badge whether you're a shooter, whether you're a slasher, whether you're a mixture of both. You're going to be able to use this badge to either slash and cut to the basket for a layup or a dunk or a oop. And you can use this badge to dex your guy or whatever like that and get open for a jump shot and stuff like that. The reason why I have it so low is because I don't feel like you need this badge. I'm able to dex and do all of those things without slippery off ball. It's just that slippery off ball on bronze and silver just gives you that extra speed boost or burst out of those cut and juke moves and stuff like that. So I would say that I could warrant running this on bronze or silver, or putting this in the bronze or silver category, but I'll leave it in bronze. Set shooters, another badge that I have in the unequipped, because you have to sit there for like 3 to 4 seconds or something absurd while holding the ball and not moving for it to trigger. Now, this badge This is a good offline badge. This is a really good badge for those of you who are grinding your shooting badges. If you are grinding your badges and stuff like that, people like to pass fake and jab step, wait for the CPU to step back, and then when the CPU steps back, they shoot their jump shot. By the time you do all of those things, pass fake, jab step, more than likely the time will have passed and you will be able to trigger set shooter, giving you a boost, helping you get those shooting badges and stuff like that. But outside of that, I don't really see set shooter ever being used because nobody's going to let you sit there and hold the ball for 5 seconds and not step up on you. That's just straight up what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you have a catfish build and they're just waiting for you to do something or whatever. But even then, if you're just sitting there, somebody's going to run over to you and try to play defense. Somebody might run over to you and try to spam you, try to steal the ball because you're not there. Maybe they think you're not playing. Maybe your teammates might come over to you, trying to, get the ball from you or something like that. I don't know. But nobody's just going to let you stand there for that long and not jump at you or contest you or anything like that. So that's the reason why I have set shooter in that category. I have Lucky 7 in silver because we all know the great significant boost that you get for just running this badge on bronze. But because you only really ever see people running this badge on bronze, I feel like it's just not a badge that I would put high on the list. It's one of those badges where if you can get it bronze, then throw it on if you have enough points. But if you can't get it bronze or you don't have enough points to throw it on bronze, then don't even worry about it. But if you can get it, it would be nice to have it. So that's why I have this in the silver category. Same thing with rhythm shooter. I just feel like rhythm shooter is just not that good. Like if you have to do 3 to 4 dribble moves, it takes like 2-3 dribble moves up or 3 dribble moves I think to activate this, and you get a boost towards the shot that you take after it. But I just feel like there's way other better shooting badges that I can run that's going to give me the boost without having to do dribble moves, you know what I'm saying, without having to take stamina away from my player, because we all know how important stamina is to shooting. So I just feel like this isn't just a badge that's like really high up there that I'm going to want to run. I'm putting corner specialist in silver tier as well. It is a really good strong badge, especially for two ways, stretches, big man builds, glass cleaners and stuff like that, big man builds who can shoot and stuff like that. It's a very significant badge, but it's been a badge that I have just ran on bronze indefinitely. Like since I've played the game, I've tried silver, gold, Hall of Fame, and I honestly don't notice a difference, and bronze has worked the best for me, especially on my two-way sharp. So I just keep this badge at bronze. Now, I mean, technically speaking, we could rank this and move this up to gold, but I'm just putting this at silver because you don't necessarily need corner specialists. It's nice to have, but you don't need it. These two categories are for badges that you need Hall of Fame, and then gold badges that you should have, or want to have. But these are badges that you just really don't necessarily need. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about that. Same thing with clutch shooter. I feel like clutch shooter is one of those badges that you can get away without using. It has replaced the ice and veins free throw badge as well. When it comes to shooting clutch or important free throws late in the game and stuff like that. If you play rec or pro-am like me, you know how important this badge is. And it's also an important badge to have when you play in park and you're playing a close game. You guys are going back and forth. They're scoring, you're scoring. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It is a very important badge or whatever like that to have. Now we're going to move over to catch and shoot. And I feel like catch and shoot is a very staple badge. Like everybody should have some form of catch and shoot on their build, regardless of their build type. If you are a shooting build or a build that can shoot, you should have catch and shoot either on a silver or Hall of Fame. I just feel like these are just, just one of those staple badges that you should have, as well as blinders, which is, in my opinion, the best shooting badge in the game. This badge is ridiculous, and if you want to shoot, slightly contested shots, you're going to miss a lot of shots without having blinders on. I'm putting Deadeye on gold just because I feel like this is a very important badge, but it's not really a badge that I would say that you must have. It's a badge that I would like to have if I have enough points, or a badge I want to have, but it's not a badge that, I feel like you really, really need. Fade Ace is another one of those badges that I'm putting in bronze because I feel like it's very, very situational. It can be really good, but you know, I just feel like the mid range shot, if I'm shooting a mid range shot, is probably gonna be like a spin jumper or a step back jumper or a fade or a leaner. It's not gonna really be me posting up and shooting, even if I do have a high post fade, because I just feel like anytime I post somebody up in this game, be it park, rec, pro am, whatever, it's just not enough space. You know, even in park, I feel like dudes will run over and try to help and then run back to their man. So it's just like it's very rare that you get to really post people up or play in the post. Like the post game is pretty much dead in NBA 2K, unless you're playing twos or you're on the 1v1 court. You know, the post game is like just basically dead in this game. Like you might get lucky if you have like a 7-3 post scorer, you know, and your team is full of shooters. You might be able to, you know, space the floor and just be able to post hook people to death with deep hooks or whatever, or hook specialists or whatever, and just, you know, green hook shots all day. But for the most part, people aren't letting you play in the post. They're always going to be that one person that runs over and try to help whoever's being backed down in the paint and stuff like that. So I just feel like this badge, you just don't really get to use it to its full advantage. But it is a pretty decent badge. But because of that, I feel like it's just very, very situational in those instances of, like, you know, ones or 2v2s, you know, too. So that's where I'm at with that. Mismatch expert, you know, I just feel like mismatch expert is still a really good badge, but since they've nerfed the left right cheese, mismatch expert just isn't as deadly as it was. It's still really good though. It's still really ridiculous. People are still gonna hit ridiculously contested or dumb shots over you if they're taller than you or whatever like that, or they're shorter than you and you're taller than them. But without the left right cheese, it's just not as bad. Like it's still bad, but it's not as bad. It's not as frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sniper is another badge that I feel like, you know, you can argue that this badge could be moved down here, but I just feel like this badge is still really good. You know, just for those dudes who can't even green their jump shots. I've seen so many people still hitting shots, and the 2K community is fickle. Everybody, you know, somebody puts out a video saying that you don't need sniper anymore. Now everybody wants to jack that they never used sniper, or they never thought that you need a sniper. Oh, I only ran sniper on bronze and all this other stuff. But truth be told, everybody was running sniper, period. From when the game came out and everybody knew what the badge did, all the way up until now, and even now in January 2022, season 4, people are still running sniper, bro. Like, I really don't care what people are saying in the comments. Like, let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? It's still one of the best badges in the game. It's still a top 5 shooting badge in my opinion, because it's going to help you with knocking down more shots, especially when you have a low rated shooting attributes. You know, you're talking about when you get to the 75s, the 74s, the 73s, the low to mid 70s. Yes, bro, you're running sniper. Anything under a 80 or 85, you are running sniper. You know, just stop it. And if you aren't a person who knows their jump shot inside out and you're not greening shots like that, guess what? You're still running sniper. So stop it. You know what I'm saying? Just stop it. Next badge I want to talk about is Green Machine. Green Machine is a really, really nice badge. I got it in gold tier because I flip flop with this badge. Sometimes I feel like it should be silver. Then sometimes I feel like I should have it in the gold gold ranking or whatever. So like I honestly flip back and forth. It really depends on how I'm shooting that day when I'm playing or whatever like that. Whatever session. Sometimes I might even put it down here in the sense of like it being very situational. But like I said, it really depends on how I'm shooting that day. Some days I'll put it up to a silver or gold, and I would feel like, yo, this is a badge that you really want to have or whatever. Then sometimes I feel like it's just like a badge, like, you can use this badge, but do you really need it? So, you know, at its worst, on my worst, I feel like I would put it in the silver ranking, but at its best, I feel like I'm putting it on the gold ranking. It's a badge that I would want to have, you know. Same thing with Circus 3s. I'm putting that in the gold ranking as well as a badge that I would want to have. Stop and Pop also being a Hall of Fame badge, or a badge that I think that you must have if you want to shoot, especially as the primary ball handler. You want to have Stop and Pop, you know. And just like Green Machine, Hot Zone Hunter is one of those badges that I feel like it varies in between these two rankings. I really can't really decide which ranking I want to put it in, because there are days where I feel like, yo, this badge isn't working, and I just take the badge off. But then there's some days where I put the badge on silver, gold, maybe even Hall of Fame, and I'm like, okay, this badge is actually, you know what I mean? So it really depends. But I'm gonna put this badge in silver, uh, just because I just don't have it ranked as high as I once did in season one, season two. If you ask me this, I would be saying this is a tier one badge, but in season four, I have this as a tier three badge. Is it nice to have when you have, like, 18 to 23, 24 plus badges? Yeah, sure, but am I putting this on, or putting this on when I only have like 15 or 18 badges? Nah, I'm not. So that's why I feel like it's just, silver tier. Same thing with difficult shots. Like, I have difficult shots on bronze, but you could really just put this unequipped. I just don't feel like you really need this, especially if you have, a higher tier shooting attribute. Your mid range is high enough. Anything 75 or better, I feel like you can hit moving shots at a high enough rate that you really don't need difficult shots. But I know some people might move it to bronze, but me personally, I just don't use this badge. I just don't feel a need to use it. It's one of those badges that I put on. Like, I'll take a lot of moving mid-range shots or whatever, step backs and stuff like that, last second shots where it's like, the clock is ticking down 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and I'll shoot a lot of these shots in the game and I'm missing, and I'm like, damn, all right, I'm putting difficult shots on. And I put difficult shots on, and it's like, you just really don't notice a difference with this badge. Like, I just personally feel like maybe I'm using it wrong, maybe I'm not taking enough spin, step back, hop, jumpers or whatever in the mid-range, but I just feel like just for just dribble pull-ups or leaners, it just doesn't drop, or when I do put it on, I'm just not taking those types of shots now, that I just don't get the full use out of the badge, or the badge just doesn't, work as, well as I would like it to. In the previous 2Ks, this was like a badge that you definitely want to have on like silver or gold, but now, it's just not as useful as it was, and I just feel like that might be the case for a lot of these badges now, since they changed the way these badges activate and everything like that. And then finally, last but not least, volume shooter, I do have in gold tier, or tier 2, in the sense that it is a really good badge. And again, this badge is, it fluctuates, again, just like Green Machine. Sometimes I would put it in this tier 3, sometimes I put it in tier 2, mainly because of how I'm playing that day or whatever, or that session. But I'm probably leaving that badge in tier 2. And you know what, I probably would move Green Machine down to tier 3 just for the sake of that. So there you have it. Those are my shooting badge rankings for season 4. It's been your boy Make America Lit. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K22 content and badge videos. I'm out. Peace.